Well, how was camp coming into this? How are things going?
Camp was good. It's always up and down. You know what I mean? You have your good days, your bad days, but camp was good. I couldn't ask to finish any better than I did in camp, and I'm looking forward to the fight this Friday.
You consider this a local fight for you?
Yeah, it's only anything that's a drive away is a local fight. Even when I fought in Atlantic City for like 10, 15 of my fights was a 2-hour drive. This was a 3-hour drive, so 1 more hour didn't really make a difference.
So you anticipate a pretty decent crowd there for you?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? I heard there's a big Puerto Rican population, especially in Utica too as well. So I'm looking forward to that and just having my friends and family be able to just drive right over.
And I know you touched on it in the past with our radio show and other stuff, but can you talk a little bit about, there were a lot of trials to get this fight to happen. You know, it seemed like it was supposed to happen, then there was a back and forth bickering as for why it didn't happen. Can you kind of take us through the initial problems of what it took to get this fight to happen?
I mean, I landed at Christmas Eve in Vegas and found out Lineker was hurt and he was out of the fight. And they offered Marlon at 140, and we basically, we were like, all right, we'll fight him at 138. We'll give him a little bit of leeway. They were like, no, 140. We said 140, then 145, and he said no to all that. And then they also offered to fight him January 20th. Was the other option. We said yeah. He said no to that. So I'm like, I don't know how you could go on social media and say you want to fight me, but end up declining the fight when I'm saying yes, all right, let's fight.
But out of this as well, some beef kind of kicked up between his manager and you? I mean, is that...
Yeah, his manager was really disrespectful to my wife, so it just added a lot more animosity to it. It just helped fuel the fire to training camp. That's what it really did. So, his manager hides behind his fighters, and I'm just going to go in there and do what I do best and, keep that in the back of my pocket, why I got to push harder in the fight because of how disrespectful his manager was.
And is that the kind of thing that once, a lot of times guys can go into these fights with beef, but once the fight's done, all the beef shed. Is that the kind of thing that you're hoping that'll happen?
Well, with Marlon, he's a nice guy. I just think he's managed the wrong way. And when it comes down to the end of the fight, I don't really have any animosity, but right now I'm going to take it out on, out on Marlon because it's the only person I can. And I'm going to get paid to do it and go in the octagon to do it, so I'm looking forward to it.
I believe at one point you had said Marlon coming over from the World Series didn't deserve a top 5 opponent, but since that time he's had a couple wins over a couple strong opponents in the UFC.
He had 2 wins.
2 wins.
One was questionable, was Dotson, and then he had a knockout that was a lucky knockout, he even said. The thing that bothered me the most when he came over, he got top 5 guys. I went to 3 different, I fought in actually 5, 6 different organizations, but I fought in 3 of the organizations. I won a belt at 35. I defended the belt, and then I vacated the belt. And when I got into UFC, I had to climb the ladder. I mean, I had a last-minute fight, yes, but I had to climb the ladder. He got in, had a full training camp his first fight. He got a top 5 guy right off the back, and World Series is not even around anymore. They got bought out, and now it's a completely different name. So I just don't understand. Someone like my caliber has to work his way up and climb the ladder where someone like him gets a top 5 guy.
So you haven't seen, in your mind, there's been no improvement on his part since...
He's fought every fight the same way. And I'm just going to go in there, I have a couple game plans, and put some stuff together my coaches I put together and get ready for this fight, and that's it.
Well, break him down for me, skill-wise. I mean, I know... You think he hasn't fought maybe the best people, but where are there areas?
I never said he hasn't fought the best people. I just said, his wins are questionable. At the end of it, break him down. He's a tough opponent. I really can't go over a game plan now, what I'm going to do, or what his weaknesses are and strengths are, this and that. After the fight, I have no problem. We can sit down again. But, yeah, it's always how it is. Everybody asks me that question. I'm like, we'll go over after the fight.
And in your mind, is this the #1 contender fight? Is this the fight after this that, without a doubt?
Of course, I think it's a #1 contender fight, and there's never any promises from the UFC about it or nothing they would write down. But we're both going in that thinking this is a #1 contender fight, and I believe it. He believes it, so that's why we're going to put on a good show for the fans.
And are there keys to victories? Are there things that need to happen to make sure that you get your hand raised, or is it just that you're at a higher level that just going out and fighting your fight will get the win?
Is going out and fighting my fight, picking them apart. I mean, any way possible to get my hand raised at the end, whether it's knockout, submission, arms there, just going all 5 rounds and win a decision, whatever means possible. I just want to get my hand raised at the end, and that's what I'm focused on.
I have 3 questions. My first question is, you have 20 straight wins. What do you think Marlon Moraes can bring to the table that the past 20 opponents haven't?
Nothing. Nothing. I worked my ass off in the gym, and then I had even more fuel for this fire of how disrespectful his manager was. Nothing. You know what I mean? I don't even think about the 20-fight win streak until you bring it up. Really, the 25 win streak is my credit to hard work. Hard work and dedication. I get in there, put my head down, and just train.
Yes. And there's a title fight coming up, a rematch between TJ Dillashaw and TJ Dillashaw. My mind just
Cody.
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry. Who do you think will win the rematch?
I think TJ is going to win it at the end of the day. If I get this win and I get that title shot next, I don't care who it is I fight, as long as it's for the belt. That's what matters to me.
Okay, one last question. There's also a super fight between Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic at UFC 226. Who do you think will win that fight?
I mean, I love them both. I mean, Stipe just got to stop the takedown, but Stipe's, I believe, is way bigger than him. I think Stipe is going to win. Again, I'm a favorite of both, so I'd love just to see a good fight, but I have Stipe at the end of the day.
One last question. How will you win on Friday night?
How I win on Friday night, I just go in there and do what I do best and fight, and that's it. No problem.
Going back to the Dillashaw versus Garbrandt fight, after Cody lost to TJ, were you hoping to maybe sneak in there and get that shot? Was that something that you thought you might?
Yeah, I hoped so, and I thought it could happen, but then they were pushing the Demetrius Johnson fight, so I knew that was going to be a setback. I did want every fight fan and MMA fan and every fighter wants to see that fight, but right now I'm very happy that it's Cody and TJ fight, so this way kind of clears everything out, and this ends up and looking like the #1 contender fight. So now the winner of this and the winner of that can go head to head.
Yeah, and nobody will argue with you there. Those are two great fights, but also I just want to ask, this is like a Friday night's a lot of firsts going on. It's your first 5-round fight in the UFC. It's your first main event in the UFC. First main event in Utica. What are your thoughts on the 5-round main event?
Nothing. I've been through 5 rounds before early in my career. There's nothing to it. You go in there, you just train extra rounds, and that's it. In Utica, it's awesome to come here and put on a show for them and be able to bring, people here and support the community and build the community. I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff and fundraisers and stuff like that. I just think it's a great highlight, especially to try around New York. I mean, we have 4 or 5 shows a year at the UFC in New York. It's great to come in and after it got passed to really represent and show them how much the support we have and how much we're going to bring the UFC here. And main event's a main event. I think is awesome for my career. No, there's never pressure. Going in on the main event, I just got to wait longer to fight, which sucks, but that's it.
Last question for you. On the undercard, or under your main event, you have a teammate fighting Julio Arce, a guy that you're familiar with at least. You're here, so you guys are hanging out. How do you think he does tomorrow night? How nice is it having a teammate during fight week on the same card?
I love having a teammate. I mean, my last fight in Long Island, we had 3 people on the card. It was myself and 2 others. It's awesome just having more buddies on the card. We just get together more and hang out. He's gonna do great. He's a tough SOB. He goes in there, he fights, and he's all like myself, well-rounded, and can take the fight anywhere. I can mix it up. He goes. The first round will tell, and we'll go from there. And I think he's gonna do a great job.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.